My bad, y'all. I did it again. Hold on. I got to change some stuff around. Hold on. That title got to change. That title have to change. Hold on. Before I even get started. Ooh. Dashboard. Okay. Okay. Hold on, I'm changing the title. But what up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Okay. Change the title. Okay. Let's change the title real quick. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's about to go down. Y'all know what's about to go down. It's about to get ugly. Here I go. Here I go. All right, let me get out of this part. Hold on. Okay. Allergies. Shout out to the Dream Team. Shout out to everybody that's here. Let's get this out the way. Let's get that out the way. Go there. Go there. Go there. All right. I just wanted to join y'all early. Let's go. Bring it back. Well, welcome everybody that's here. Let's get the like, share, subscribe up. Let's invite folks that want to be taught. Today is about Charlemagne. Mute the charlerapist pedophile allegedly from the Breakfast Club. Let's go.
I was born by the river, oh, in a little teen. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. He's been alone, a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard to living. Oh, I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there. There beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
Let's do it again.
I was born by the river. Oh, and a little teen. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. He's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too so they got me here. They keep coming, watch us here. They gotta leave us alone. What to say, 11? What you gonna do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Tell you that I will never disrespect you. Not tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend you. Last girl, gotta make it right now. Start off so, she's gonna be there. But no, wanna say stop when the beat say go. There you go again, that voice is slow. Oh, you make your girlfriend. You've been waiting patiently, wondering when and where I be. The cousin ruckus in the industry, making this so she can't sleep. I was born by the river, oh, and a little teen. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. He's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living. Oh, I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there. There beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
Devil?
The Breakfast Club.
Donkey of the day for Wednesday, January 9th, goes to Robert Kelly. You know, I, Charlemagne the God, have given Donkey of the Day to R. Kelly several times over the years. And though I have not seen the Surviving R. Kelly documentary and probably won't watch it because I don't want that in my spirit, I simply don't have to watch it to know that the pied pedophile is a sick individual. Okay, there's really nothing more I can say because I would just be repeating a bunch of talking points that I have stated over the years. Even, you know, if you don't believe the survivors that were on the documentary, you have to believe the now infamous, legendary for all the wrong reasons, sex tape, which allegedly features a man many say is R. Kelly. I know it's R. Kelly, but I have to say allegedly because he's threatened to sue me a couple of times before. But whatever, all right? For all those of a certain age who have seen the sex tape, that should have been enough. All right, if that wasn't enough, marrying Aaliyah when she was 15 and writing a song for her called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And the fact he calls himself the Pied Piper, if you don't know the story of the Pied Piper, he's a man whose career was that of a rat catcher. And he was hired by a town to lure rats away with his magic pipe, with music. All right, when the citizens of the town refused to pay for this service, he retaliated by using his magic pipe on the town's children, leading them away, never to be seen again. The Pied Piper was a man who used music to manipulate kids, take them away from their parents, never to be seen again. I've been calling R. Kelly out about that for years, but now when you see parents actually looking for their kids because he's lured them away, then you realize how sick it is for that man to take on that moniker. Now, people ask me, why did I do the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, and especially in light of the fact that I've been arrested and exonerated for criminal sexual conduct before? Listen, my motto is simple. Listen to all women. All women deserve to be heard, but believe all proof. Simple. And when it comes to R. Kelly, it's a lot of proof. And when it comes to any rape, sexual assault allegation, why wouldn't I speak out? Just because I'm not guilty in my situation doesn't mean that all women are lying. That's not accurate. I'm a father of 3 Black girls, so anything I can do to make the world a better place for them and young girls like them, I'm gonna do. And the number one change starts with myself. So the same way I hold myself accountable for how we treat our women, I'm damn sure going to continue to hold other men accountable too. So I have zero problem speaking out against R. Kelly. And I've been doing radio for 20 years. And even though I've said all these things about the Pied pedophile before, even though I've consistently spoken out against him, clowned him for sleeping with underage girls, I still have been a part of a system that enabled R. Kelly, and that system is radio. Even though all this evidence was out there against R. Kelly, radio continued to play his music, which provided him more money, more power, and more influence to manipulate young women. So if I've been a part of a system that has been a part of the problem for so long, why would I ever hesitate on being a part of a solution? Not to mention, a lot of us, including me, all got these R. Kelly jokes off about that tape and his love for underage women. Even though, we were going at R. Kelly, we may not have realized how those jokes hurt the victims too, because as Lisa Van Allen said earlier, some of those young women were really getting beat on. So that trauma still exists for them, all right? So we may have joked about it then, but I think we all realize now this is nowhere near a laughing matter until some justice is served. Then we can probably get back to clowning R. Kelly tastefully. Now, I don't really have much more to say. I've been saying all this about R. Kelly for years. I didn't even see the documentary, but my homegirl Cadillac Kimberly came to visit me from Atlanta this morning, and she told me that it's more donkeys that need to be delivered. She got some thoughts. Good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning, Charlemagne the God.
So who else need to get it, Kim? The floor is yours.
I need to get it. Depending on what you're talking about giving. It's him, it's his former assistant, and it's also his brother who's in the penitentiary, who I think might be gay for the stay. And I believe he drops the soap, not just in the shower, but just about everywhere he goes. And when he said that everybody has a preference, and there are Kelly's preferences, young girls, and what's wrong with that? It's illegal. That's what's wrong with it. And then the assistant said that he did do fraudulent activity with the paperwork for Aaliyah to be married to R. Kelly. So if you're fraudulent with the paperwork, then you'll put your finger at a 5-year-old when ain't nobody looking. Okay, R. Kelly wasn't a pedophile by itself, allegedly. Okay, it was the clique that he was in and all the people that was saying yes to him and that he was saying yes to. Okay, and for resolve, amen, I believe that he should go on Yola Van Zant next season. I think every week he should be on with a different alleged victim, amen, and get some resolve. If there is resolve to be had, okay? But I want to give also a shout out to the girl who said that she has herpes that allegedly he gave her, because you got to be a strong, bold, bad woman to get in front of the world and say you on fire, okay? Usher wasn't man enough, allegedly, but baby, she woman enough, and my hat and my wig goes off to her.
Jesus, Kim, thank you. Please let Remy Ma give Donkey of the Day to R. Kelly, his staff, and mother effing crew.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
All right. Hold on, Kim, why you let your more to say?
Can we talk about a donkey of a different color? Can we talk about an orange donkey? Donald Trump has stopped my food stamps. The 194 is no longer. I got confirmation in the mail and I'm upset about it. So if anybody want to pay for me to see Yana so that she can.
Charlemagne, you already should have known I wasn't gonna play with you, boy. So they clowning R. Kelly. He's saying R. Kelly a rapist. He said he was exonerated from his shit. Y'all know I don't come half-stepping when I come with shit like this. Shout out to Star for breaking the news. Shout out to Kwame Brown for bringing it back up. Shout out to Choke No Joke, my homie. We're going to keep it going. Shout out to everybody that's bringing awareness to the situation. Kwame Brown got Mama's Cooking. I've been to Mama's Cooking. It tastes a little good. But now Dana got Grandpa's season. So now they saying R. Kelly's a pedophile. Well, I don't just talk to talk. I don't just come out and say certain stuff without thoroughly doing research. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. If you thought you was going to come and hear me hooping and hollering today, you're wrong. We going to learn today. Pedophile. He called R. Kelly a pedophile, right? Me, I want to be politically correct when I do this. Pedophile. The definition of a pedophile, one affected with pedophilia. So what they're doing is they're redirecting you to another word. Pedophile is short for pedophilia. So let's see what pedophilia. You know what? Hold on. So let's see what pedophilia means. Hold on. Pedophilia. Definition of pedophilia: sexual perversion in which children are the preferred sexual object. Say it again. Sexual perversion in which children are the preferred sexual object. Specifically, a psychiatric disorder in which an adult has sexual fantasies about or engages in sexual acts with a prepubescent child. I'm going to read it again. Sexual perversion in which children are the preferred sexual object. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to ask a question. What child was the sexual object? What child was the sexual object? We heard them say R. Kelly had a 12-year-old. Prove it. They can't. R. Kelly had a 14-year-old. Prove it. They can't. Oh, R. Kelly was on a sex tape, as you heard the goddess say. But when they went to court for that, the young lady said it wasn't her. And they couldn't prove that it was truly R. Kelly on that tape. And they couldn't prove the age of the female on the tape. So how can you say that she was underage? Prime example, Azriel Clary, and I'm going to use her. She looks young, but she's not underage. But see, y'all don't want to see that. So it says specifically a psychiatric disorder in which an adult has sexual fantasies about or engages in sexual acts with a prepubescent child. When have you ever heard R. Kelly fantasize about a prepubescent child? I'll wait. I'll wait. So now that we know, the fuck? That nigga trying to spam me. So now that we know what that is, we can start digging into the meat and the potatoes. What you about to see is a indictation from the Star Report. Shout out to Star and Choke No Joke. But check it. 11 minutes of your time. Here we go. Now I'm going to pause that right there, right? I'm going to pause that right there because I don't want this to be redundant. I don't want y'all to feel like y'all are in a courthouse. But that was the Star Report, right? That was the Star Report. Now, shout out to the late folks that came in. Shout out to the people, the friends and everybody, Molly, everybody. Hey, A.L. Sterling, Miss Hot Pink, everybody. Shout out to everybody. So I don't want this to be redundant. Like I said, excuse me. I don't want y'all to feel like y'all are in a courthouse. However, y'all heard Charlemagne say that he was exonerated. Now, y'all heard there on a Star Report where he took a plea deal. Well, I reached out to Mama Reid and I said, if possible, if you can supply me with the documents, I will show them to the world in its pure form. We're going to go over the documents, but it's something that I want y'all to hear. I want y'all to see, okay? And what I want y'all to see is this right here. Because they say, you can talk all you want, but pictures and videos are worth 1,000 words. So I want y'all to close your mind. Close your mind right now for a second, just for a second. Everything that y'all have running through your mind, get it out. Open back your mind, right? And tell me, how would you feel? Mothers, fathers, if your daughter went to a party and then your daughter was violated, but years later, after they give him a slap on the wrist, after he took a plea deal. Now, a plea deal is an admission. That's a guilty admission. That's what a plea deal is. So he wasn't exonerated. He was guilty by admission. But you just so happen to be trying to get over the situation, you and your family, your daughter and everything. And you turn on the radio and you hear this.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got this girl real drunk. And
that sentence sounds a little fishy. I got her drunk.
And I didn't just get her drunk. I remember going, I went to the sex store and got Spanish fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. Spanish fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth. They sell it in the Spanish store. I had to fucking.
They sell knives at the store too. You could put that to a girl's throat and have sex with her. That doesn't mean it's illegal.
So I put the Spanish fly in the E&J. We drinking the E&J and shit. So in my mind, I don't know if this shit really worked, but I felt like I got horny as a motherfucker too. Right? So she was drunk and shit, and we had sex and shit, and like. A lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and fuck her. I'm like, nah, shit, like, I can't, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to turn the train on. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right? So
it's just one-on-one, it ain't right.
Yeah. So the next
trains are right.
So the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it. she's like, what happened? I'm like, we had sex. She said, okay, well, I'm glad it was you. Then a couple days later, she's like, yo, are you sure I only had sex with you? Because one of my stupid ass cousins was going around saying he fucked her, which he didn't. I know for a fact he didn't. I was there the whole time. Yeah. He did not fuck her. Yeah. He looked at her naked, but he didn't fuck her, right? So I'm telling her, no, me and you just had sex. Nobody else did nothing. So it just was weird that she was like, well, I'm just glad it was you. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm like, yo, you could have been in a real bad situation if it was another motherfucker there.
Man. A girl just said, yo, at least you raped me.
I didn't rape her. I did not rape her. I did not rape her.
Hey, if it was any of your cousins or friends who have been raped,
I didn't rape her because me and her had every intention of having sex with each other.
So then why would you put the Spanish fly?
I'm still a freaky motherfucker, but listen,
was she passed out while you fucked her?
Nah, she wasn't like, she was like one of those drunks where, she was one of those drunks where like, she was one of those drunks where she was like, she wasn't coherent, but she was up. You know, when your girl just, like when you're blacked out, like that, don't know what the fuck's going on type shit. Like she was really,
she was
my point exactly. So, how would you feel if you and your family was riding and y'all know that he violated your child and that's what you heard? What would be your train of thought? What would be your MO? What would be your rationale point? Because for me, it ain't nothing you can say. I'm on a hunt for you. I'm coming to the Breakfast Club. Y'all just gonna lock me up. Fredro, what would be your rationale? I'm sorry, I had it off. What would be your rationale point after hearing that? You and your family driving, and that's what you hear. What would be your psyche? What would be your eval after that? I'm going to the Breakfast Club. You gonna lock me up that day. Because I'm gonna beat you from pillar to post, and I'm gonna have the news there watching it. Because you violated my child. Excuse me. So, from that standpoint, he talks about pedophilia. He says R. Kelly's a pedophile. R. Kelly has been exonerated, which means he was found not guilty by a jury. You took a plea deal, which means guilty by admission. But you see the wordplay that he uses. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold that thought. Like I say, he uses the wordplay. And in that wordplay, he's trying to get people to say, okay, Charlemagne was exonerated. So it shouldn't be nothing else to talk about. Well, how can you be exonerated when you took a plea? A plea deal doesn't mean exoneration. That's not what a plea deal means. A plea deal means guilt by admission, not omission, but admission, meaning that you are admitting to what you have done. But then it get worse. You and your family, ladies, fellas, you and your families, y'all getting past that one little part. But then you turn on the TV and you look at a show and this pop up. What would be your next mode of rationale?
That shit, hell, I'm scared of that kind of shit. I done had a rape charge before.
Oh, for real?
Hell yeah, I'm scared of that kind of shit. I don't even play that.
You got like a charge? How you beat that?
Because I didn't do it. It was a criminal sexual conduct with a minor charge.
That means you would have to like register for this.
Yeah, I was.
Right?
It was the year 2000, 2001. I think I was like 20. I was 20 years old. My cousin had just graduated from high school, and he had got a scholarship to Penn State University. And I had a party, and I had all of these chicks at a party. Like I was doing overnights I was working at D93 then, so I had all these chicks there that I met through radio, and chicks that my dude had known. I used to always see this chick with my dude. So I bought, I invited her to the party. So she was at the party and shit. She got drunk, high, whatever. Something happened in the room with a couple of my dudes. I'm asking them, did they mess with the chick, after the fact, after she pressed charges? And they was like, no. But they was like, yo, she's bugging. I remember the night of, they was like, yo, she's in here bugging out. She's kicking over the TV and she's trying to set shit on fire. I'm like, what the fuck? I had left. So the next morning, I'm hearing she said she got raped. She got raped. So I go to the hood to ask what happened. They like, yeah, my cousin who had got the scholarship, yeah, he's in jail now. What you mean he's in jail? He's in jail. They said he raped the girl. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I go down to the jailhouse, talk to the detective myself. No, ain't got no one for me. I just told the detective, like, hey, look, I take full responsibility for anything that happened in the house last night.
You gonna take the case?
No, but I told her, I said, as far as I know, because I asked around, did anybody fuck? I'm like, yo, nobody got raped, yada, yada, yada. They didn't even have my cousin in custody. My other cousins was fucking with me because they was mad they didn't get invited to the party. Hating ass motherfuckers. So my cousin wasn't even in custody. So I went down to the jailhouse for nothing. So I'm like, I take full responsibility for everything. I bought the alcohol. They was like, well, you're not even of age to buy alcohol. And I'm like, well, how'd you get it? Well, I got a crackhead to get it from you. Whatever.
They went down there copping out pleas with
they had to do shit. Yeah. So 2 weeks later, they come and arrest me for criminal sexual conduct with a minor. So I had to get blood and hair follicles.
You going down there to initially explain it?
They ain't had nobody else depending on. So being that I went down there and took full responsibility, lock him up.
Did it get through? You got indicted on it and everything, or
now I went to court. With the court, they reduced the charges to like contributing to the delinquency of a minor because I had to give blood and all DNA samples, and it wasn't me. Whoever touched it wasn't me.
So you didn't get no jail time over there?
I got like probation, 4 or 5 months probation or something like that. Man. Something like
that's so. I mean,
so that's the reason I don't play those games with females.
This means that Charlemagne nigga.
Man. I hate stuff like this. Because when you have stories like this, lies come out. So I hate stuff like this. Like I said, I reached out to Jessica's mom. And I just said, Miss Mama Reid, can you send me something that I can show the audience that watch me, the small platform I have? Can you send me something that I can show them that Charlemagne is a liar? Y'all heard me yesterday when I was thinking that, and I was almost in tears. Because I was expecting to get like one little sheet of paper. Now y'all get to see what was dropped on my lap. Let me see. Let me see. They're gonna let me do this. Let me see. Decrease it a little bit, 75%. What is going on, man? Hold on. Oh, not Safari. Zoom. Sorry. Hold on, I gotta get this straight. Keynote. Is that it? That is. That is 125 is too big. 100. Y'all see the slideshow, right? Justice for Jessica. Now remember, he said he ain't do shit, right? He said he went down there and admitted to it because ain't nobody else. What did he say exactly? He went down there and admitted to it because they ain't had nobody else to put it on, so they came and locked him up. How did that even sound? Why would you admit to doing something to somebody if you didn't do it? So you mean to tell me you going down there to list, you going down there to say you incriminated, you going down there to incriminate yourself, to say you did it when you didn't do it. So let's go here. Oh, 200 is too big. 150. Okay. Nope, 150 too big. 125. All right. This right here is from the Office of the Attorney General, State of South Carolina, Department of Crime Victim, what is that? Crime Victim, OMBU, OMBUDSMAN. I don't know how to say his name, so I spelled it. November the 9th, 2018. Eve Constant Esquire, Executive Vice President and General Counsel. Let's see what they're talking about. Let me move this over in the middle. Okay. It's a Dear HBO executives, I am writing this letter as the South Carolina Crime Victim Ombudsman on behalf of a victim of crime to express our concern regarding the criminal history and ongoing public statements of Leonard Larry McKelvey, aka Charlemagne the God. Our office was contacted by the mother of an alleged victim of sexual assault with concerns regarding the criminal charges brought against McKelvey in South Carolina in 2001. 17 years ago, 15-year-old Jessica Reid was allegedly drugged and raped by Charlemagne in Monarch's Corner, South Carolina, near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The prosecutor issued an indictment for criminal sexual conduct with minor and contributing to the delinquency of a minor in 2001. See enclosed. The victim's mother believed it was best for her child to avoid the criminal justice process entirely and immediately moved out of the state. Since the victim was unable to cooperate with prosecution in Columbia, South Carolina, charge was dropped and McKelvey pled guilty. McKelvey pled guilty. McKelvey pled guilty. Say it again. McKelvey, aka Charlemagne the God, pled guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Why is you pleading guilty? Then it goes on to say, while the law presumes Mr. McKelvey innocent of the dismissed sexual assault charge, it does not make the allegations any less accurate or deplorable. We can verify that the indictment is valid and that Ms. Reid is very credible. She is now an adult who is publicly condemning Mr. McKelvey. She is no longer able to have his sexual assault criminally prosecuted, so she is seeking avenues of redress to alert the public to what she believes is a dangerous predator. After learning of these allegations, our office began to research Mr. McKelvey and have found shocking interviews wherein he admits to drugging women before sex as well as hitting women. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna say this. That's just the first page. The second page, I'm sorry, is more from where that came from. It's more from where that came from. But my question is, I want to ask y'all, what are your thoughts on this so far? What are your thoughts on this so far? What are your thoughts so far? Spanish fly is a drug that will make it incoherent for you. What are your thoughts so far? What are your thoughts so far? Because I'm going to ask that. We all got kids in here. And if a lawyer is writing this to a company, you know it's bombshells coming in a package. You feel me? Y'all know it's, I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all engaged in something else. Y'all ain't even paying attention. Georgia girl said he a sick person, need to be in jail. So my thing is this: if you calling R. Kelly a pedophile, right? And you are a documented pedophile, why is it that it's okay for people to come up and try to pin something on a man who never had a spot or a blemish on his criminal record, but you have a man that have a blemish and not just a blemish, but have a whole case out here on him, and nobody wants to lock him up and put him in jail? Who's protecting Charlemagne the goddess? Who's protecting Charlemagne the goddess? So let's get back into it, because I don't want to keep y'all long, but I find this very interesting to me. Stuff like this gets to me. So, hey, it says, Eve Constant says, in this era of enlightenment regarding sexual violence, we believe it is unacceptable to provide a national platform upon which Charlemagne is able to rationalize and normalize these crimes. As advocates for victims and survivors of crime, we work daily with men and women who have the strength to come forward with stories. Now I'm gonna stop right there. It says, as advocates for victims and survivors of crime, we work daily with who? Men and women. So, have it ever dawned on anybody that R. Kelly is a victim? Have it ever dawned on anybody that R. Kelly is a victim? So while people out here are trying to normalize accusers and willing participants, R. Kelly is a true victim, but nobody want to normalize a true victim. Hold on, wait, hold on. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second, y'all. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Hey, oh, you at work?
I'm just okay.
Can somebody check the chat, man? I don't know what's going on, but it's distracting.
Okay. I'm almost home.
Sorry about that. Where was I at? Yeah. So, have anybody thought about the fact that R. Kelly is a victim? He's the only one who's not asking for Dooney and Burke bags. He's the only one that's not asking for red bottoms. Look, I don't know what's going on in the chat. Y'all got to stop, man. It's being very distracting. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even going to go back and read it. Look. No. It wasn't nothing with you, Nikki. I don't think. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, Robert is the true victim. And with that being said, why he's being treated like a prisoner, a monster, a destructive force, when he is nothing but a victim in this case. Not only is he a victim to the accusers, but he's also a victim to the music industry and a victim to the media. And I find it funny how the real pedophiles can try to put their stigma on somebody else just so they don't want nobody else to dig up their dirt. All right, Dana, let's go. So, like they said, survivors of crime, we work daily with men and women who have the strength to come forward with stories of atrocities committed against them. to hear Charlemagne admit and laugh. To hear Charlemagne admit and laugh about the allegations is horrifying. Now, this is coming from a lawyer. This is coming from a lawyer. And a lawyer say, to hear Charlemagne admit, as we just heard, not just admit, but to laugh about the allegations is horrifying. This is what the lawyer is saying. It's horrifying. We believe this damaging rhetoric should be stopped, since it will likely bolster the audacity of adults who already hold these skewed beliefs and further embolden young men to hurt women. Wow. So you have Surviving R. Kelly, which had Charlemagne on it, and Surviving R. Kelly got all type of awards. But you have a lawyer that's sitting out here telling the people in the company that it's horrifying the public. Is rehashing, that's what this letter said, is rehashing people pain. That right there alone is a danger to the community in my book. That right there alone is an endangerment to the community. So let's go here. Charlemagne has been recorded publicly numerous times boasting about sexual violence and assault against women. Ms. Reid has come forward. Some of the links we reviewed have been shut down. Additionally, his attorney has sent Ms. Reid numerous cease and desist letters in an attempt to silence her. Some of Charlemagne's public statements are listed below. Now they're providing what we call receipts. Ms. Molly said, I don't believe they can continue to protect Charlemagne the God now. Too much has come out. The Breakfast Club must get rid of him or suffer the consequences. Well, let's go here. His contract is up with the Breakfast Club next month. He's got his own show coming out underneath the same network that the Breakfast Club is on. So they don't care about Silence in the Breakfast Club because he have his own show. Then Envy got his own show, and then Angela Yee got her own show, and they all right behind one another on time slots. So we don't need to just silence the Breakfast Club. We need to silence that network. If you take away the network, you take away the Breakfast Club. You take away Charlemagne the God. You take away Envy, and you take away Angela Yee. More importantly, it's a lady that's in the White House right now that, and I hate to put it like this, that rocks for Biden. And she also rocks for Charlemagne. I think she need to be out of office too. I'll get her name. And I'll bring it back on a later date. I have it in my file. I just got to look it up. So at the bottom, you see the links. Then it says attached is Jessica Reid's statement. Since the survivor has no civil or criminal remedy available to pursue justice, she wants to alert the public about this alleged predator and support other survivors. We appreciate your consideration and sincerely hope you will give this matter the attention it deserves. Please feel free to contact us should you have any questions or comments or concerns. But stop. I want y'all to look at something that was just said. Attorney Ray? Okay, Ms. Molly, thank you so much. Attorney Ray needs to be silenced. But let's go here. I just read something that should have stuck out to you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna bring it to you. It says, since the survivor has no civil or criminal remedy available to pursue justice. Stop right there. If they can bring back all these lying people, accusers, on Robert, why can't they allow her to pursue Charlemagne? I thought they changed the law. I thought they changed the law. Or was it just changed for Robert and Bill and Cuba? Somebody make this make sense. I thought they changed the law. And in changing the law, ain't that's what you heard Team Truth say? Ain't that's what you heard Me Too say? Ain't that's what you heard Mute R. Kelly say? If they change the law, right? If they change the law, why can't she pursue Charlemagne? Somebody make this make sense. If they only change the law for Robert, state that. State that. But if they change the law, then Jessica Reid should be able to pursue Charlemagne criminally. And if you really want to get funky, that charge, those two charges that they gave Charlemagne, she could take it federal and have them superseded and charge them differently because it's not labeled that on a federal level. And because I'm not giving out false information, I'm not going to tell you what the charge name is, nor am I going to make up a charge name. I'm going to go research it and then bring it back to you on a later date. If it applied to one, it should apply to all. And this is the fight I have with Greenberg. Stuff like this, you should take this and run this to the court and say, why is my client being charged and these MFers on the radio producing the bullcrap against my client? Makes me wonder, how big do this go? So right here, you see the incident report. I told y'all I got the file, y'all. I got the whole file. If any other blogger want to jump on this, holler at me. I'll send you the file. But I told you I got the file. I don't cap when I say I'm on to something. This is why I can no longer argue with fake ass attorneys and fake ass people that just want to sit back and create drama and backstab folks. I can't do it. I don't give a hell what they do now. I got my motherfucking mojo back. So it says at the bottom, the scrambled up words, it says, on the above date and time, this deputy responded to short stay Naval Recreation Center, bill number 30, in reference to a possible rape. Upon arrival, this deputy and reserve duty Thomas met with short stay security, C. Dangerfield, golly, got him by name, and advised him of the situation. Both units then proceeded to bill number 30, where we found two Black females sitting in front of the two-story rental unit. Upon approaching the two women, I noticed a black and color Mercedes-Benz with 3 Black males in it. Approaching the two women, I noticed a black and color Mercedes-Benz with 3 Black males in it. I immediately asked the victims if the men in the Mercedes were involved, And they replied no, that they had just stopped to let the girls use their cell phone to call for help. While I assessed the girls' injuries, the Mercedes pulled away, leaving short stay. I immediately recognized that the two girls very intoxicated in some type of manner unknown to me at that time. The first female to speak was later identified as Malika Joyner, stated that she had no idea where they were or how they got there. I then tried talking to the second female, later identified as Jessica Reid, who was crying uncontrollably, stating that she just needed help and wanted to go home. I then advised. And look, the incident type, forcible rape. Forcible rape. Jessica Reid. Simple assault, Malika Joyner. 211 Short Stay Road, bill number 30. Monarchs Corner, South Carolina. Incident date, 6/8/2001. 24-hour clock at 2200 hours. Date 6/9/01. I don't know what this is. I can't see. It's been stamped over. Whew, this is deep. Oh my God, this is deep. Next is supplemental incident report. These are the reports that we fill out every time that we come out. And when I say we, I mean officers come out and got to deal with something to this magnitude. That's why when people be calling the god daggone 911 line and really don't want nothing, this is why we get upset, because we got to fill out a packet every time. Let's see. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat real quick. Ms. Molly Harris said, Boston, I'm in love with love. That Chewbacca looking Kim Fox implemented the law abolishing the statute of limitations in the state of Illinois. The same must be done in the state incident with Charlemagne the God. I agree. If you like to support our whole, okay, thank y'all so much. So as I understand, this the girl that was with Charlemagne the God. Now she and her mom wants to press charges because they see how Charlemagne the God is moving. Dana, no, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. And you're gonna see, but that's all you gotta do is stay clear. You're gonna see. Some type of sexual abuse class at 84 years old, they should be ashamed of themselves. So if there is no limitations, can or will Charlemagne the God have to register as a sex offender if he's brought back to court? That's a good question, Boston. That's a great question. But I don't have an answer for that because I don't know. I don't know. I will hope so, but I don't know. Right, at Molly, and it would admit guilt. And he says he's not guilty, so he not taking no class. Wow. So let's finish. This is Malika Joyner report. Dispatch to send me an ambulance to check the girls for injuries. I then proceeded to question the girls who were both having trouble sitting still and keeping themselves upright. Though they were sitting upright, Joyner was able to advise that someone unknown to them picked them up from their residence in Somerville and gave them a liquid to drink that Joyner stated tasted like soda. Joyner states that is the last thing she remembered until she woke up with a man trying to kiss her. Joyner then states that she forced the man away and went to find her friend, Jessica Reid. Joyner stated that she found Reid, which is Jessica Reid, in the room across from where she was, naked and crying, stating that she had been raped. Joyner then stated that she called her mom, who called 911 to summons the, see what else it say. All right, but that's it for that report. Oh, Jesus. Who summons the sheriff's department for assistance. The ambulance arrived and treated the girls and transported the two to Somerville Medical Center for further treatment. Myself and Corporal Dawson, who had arrived on the scene, proceeded to the rental unit to make sure that the suspects were not still present. Security unlocked the unit, and myself and Corporal Dawson cleared the residence, finding no suspects to be present. During the safety search of the residence, I noticed that there was a strong odor of what I identified as burnt marijuana that I recognized from my experience as a law enforcement officer. Several empty containers of alcoholic beverages were also laying around, giving the impression that a party may have taken place at that residence. I also noticed that in the upstairs bedrooms, one bed was in complete disarray, with the sheets completely messed up and in a pile in the middle of the bed. A silver bracelet was laying next to the bed in plain view, which was later said to be Reid's. A hole was noted in the wall, which was said to be caused by Reid. The other bedroom was in order. However, the sheets on the bed were pulled back as if someone was ready to go to sleep. Myself and Corporal Dawson then proceeded back out to side and had dispatch notified the deputy detective, who also notified naval authorities, who both responded to the crime scene. The crime scene was secured until their arrival and turned over to Detective Klein, who took over the investigation. I stayed on the scene, securing the crime scene until approximately 6:30 a.m. when Sergeant Pipkin relieved me and I went off duty. All relevant information to the case was shared with Detective Klein and the naval investigator. The security officer, C. Dangerfield, stated that he did see a black in color Lincoln Town car parked in front of the rental unit earlier in the evening before the call for help. Also parked in front of the unit was a black Mercedes-Benz and a small gray or silver unknown type vehicle. Security officer C. Dangerfield stated that according to his records, a dark major with an unknown branch reserve military identification had rented the unit but was nowhere to be found. Oh man. Let's see. Dark major. Reference forcible rape 11A at approximately 200 hours. 6/9/21, the detective was notified of a rape at the Short Stay Naval Wreck area. The detective had the Naval Weapons Station OOD identified, who had an NCIS investigator respond to the scene with this detective. Upon arrival, it was found that the villa where the incident occurred had been rented by one dark major, as the subject major D was not present to give consent to search the residence. This detective obtained a search warrant for the residence, and the search warrant was executed by Sergeant E. Pipkin with the assistance of Mr. Bill Salisbury, who was the on-scene forensics technician who recovered the evidence at the scene. This is a lot, man. This is crazy. Reference service of a warrant, date 6/22/01. On the above date and the time, this deputy made contact with subject McKelvey, Leonard Larry McKelvey, aka Charlemagne the God. Subject was placed under arrest for a outstanding warrant issued by Magistrate Elizabeth S. Harper on 6/12/01. Subject was served with warrant number G-773948 for criminal sexual conduct with a minor, second degree code 16-3-655. Subject was placed in the Berkeley County Detention Center, where he was processed and issued a copy of said warrant. Service of a warrant, OCA number 2001-06019115. I'm gonna pause there for a second, and I'm gonna ask this question. How was you exonerated? How was you exonerated? How was you exonerated? See, he can go and tell these lies, but how was you exonerated? Molly said, okay, Willie Jones, I knew it was one of those devils. Remember why he was trying to buy? He was trying to help Oprah, who was being attacked by Clinton machine for supporting Obama. Facts. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. Continued. Also photographs the scene. Detective Fowler was notified of this incident and responded to the hospital to speak with the victims who had already been transported before the detective arrived. Here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. This is the warrant. This is the warrant. The full warrant. I told you I got the whole file. This is the indictment. Let's read that. State of South Carolina, County of Berkeley, indictment for contributing to the delinquency of a minor at a court of general sessions convened on August 29, 2001. The grand jurors of Berkeley County present upon their oath that Leonard L. McKelvey did in Berkeley County between the 8th day of June 2001 and the 9th day of June 2001, knowingly and willingly encourage, aid, or cause to do acts which were intended to cause or influence Jessica Nicole Reid to deport herself in a manner so as to willfully injure or endanger her morals or health. Remember this phrase right here, injure or endanger. Remember that, because I'm gonna bring it back up. Here you go, y'all have it. The indictment. But see, victim uncooperative. So they gave him a null pros. And she was uncooperative. Well, matter of fact, you'll find all that out in a few minutes. See, this is his whole spill. This is what he wasn't telling nobody about. Here we go. His docket number, everything. This is Jessica Reid's statement. The same statement, 2 different times. Now watch this. This is Solicitor Wilson's statement regarding charges against Leonard L. McKelvey, 2001. Many news outlets have contacted my office regarding an incident involving Leonard L. McKelvey, which is alleged to have occurred over 17 years ago. Criminal charges against Mr. McKelvey were resolved in 2002, pursuant to a plea agreement between the state of South Carolina and Mr. McKelvey. The state allowed Mr. McKelvey to plead guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor and agreed to dismiss the remaining charge. The plea was negotiated because the alleged victim in the matter did not cooperate with the prosecutor. The prosecutor made this agreement because of the victim's absence and the lack of evidence available at the time. While the tools and technology of justice have evolved in cases involving personal violence, the state must have the witness to prosecute. Too often, the key witnesses will not come forward in support of criminal prosecution. Trying a tough case is no problem. Trying an impossible case is not ethical. South Carolina law is clear that once a defendant enters plea negotiations and a plea agreement is accepted by the court, due process requires the state to honor the agreement. We are duty bound to honor the agreement in this case. The state's prosecution has ended and the dismissed charge against Mr. McKelvey will not be resurrected. The law presumes that McKelvey is innocent of the dismissed allegation. So I got a question. When Robert was found not guilty, right? If the law dismissed the charge against Charlemagne and deemed him not guilty when he pleaded guilty, why wasn't the same thing afforded to Robert Sylvester Kelly when he was found not guilty? That's a question that nobody can answer for me. Once again, if the state presumed Charlemagne the God innocent after he pleaded guilty and because he took a plea deal and finished it, why the same situation was not afforded to Robert Kelly? Let's talk about it. He said, oh, they took blood samples and they ain't find nothing and this 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 and this. Well, they took blood samples, right? So why on the paperwork it says blood 2.1, no analysis performed. Saliva 2.2, no analysis performed. But they did do fingernail scrapings. No, nothing of apparent serological evidentiary value found. That's all you gotta do is wash your fingernails. So he's saying, yeah, but they took blood, they took saliva, they took hair follicles. But the report says it. No analysis performed. So now I got a question. Is the solicitor office lying or Charlemagne lying? Things that make you go, who's lying? Next thing, Charlemagne said they took blood, they did this, they did that. And y'all heard it. So let's go there. I'm gonna go back for a second. You see blood 2.2, no analysis performed. Saliva blood 2.1, no analysis performed. Saliva 2.2, no analysis performed. Right? Here we go. Adult sexual assault kit. Blood 1.4, no analysis performed. Saliva 1.5, no analysis performed. Smears, vaginal, oral, rectal, no spermatozoa identified. If you had a condom on, it won't be identified. Vaginal swab, no semen identified. Oral swab, no semen identified. Rectal swab, no semen identified. Suspected semen, no semen identified. If you have on a condom, how would it be identified? And the condom didn't bust. Here's the documents, here's the videos, everything. So it kills me how Charlemagne can just lie. And people want to believe it. I get it. So we heard these lies. Now, let's look at some clips. I got 2 clips left that I put together. I want y'all to hear what Jessica Reid says out of her mouth. Take a look at this.
Here to talk about what happened in June 2001. A lot of you have heard Charlemagne's story, but today I'm here to set the record straight about what really happened that night. I met Charlemagne through a mutual friend. His name is Rico. I met Rico through my best friend. Her name is Shaniqua Epps. The night I met Charlemagne, Rico and I were hanging out. He told me he had some business to take care of and he had to stop by the radio station, Z93. So where I'm at right now, standing right in front of what used to be Z93 radio station, here is where I met Charlemagne. Like I said previously, I was introduced to him by Rico, who was a mutual friend of both Charlemagne and mine. Charlemagne worked at the time as a radio DJ. He introduced us. Rico introduced Charlemagne and I. I sat down. Rico and Charlemagne were discussing music. I kind of sat back while they talked. We left the station, and about 2 days later, Charlemagne called me. I'm not sure how he got my number because I didn't give it to him, but I'm assuming that Rico gave him my number. At the time I met Charlemagne, I was 15 years old. He told me he was 20. Just finding out recently, he was actually 22 years old at the time. Our relationship was strictly platonic. We were friends and only friends. This is where Charlemagne came to meet my mom.
Let me ask this question. And the question was just asked, but I gotta ask it again. How many of y'all out there, right? How many of y'all out there is cool, or how many of y'all was of age at 22 years old, 22, 23, 24, and had a 15-year-old friend? What do y'all have in common? I'm sorry. I got a question to ask. How many of y'all there had a 15-year-old friend and when y'all was 22 or 23? What do y'all have in common? What do y'all have in common with a 15-year-old? But oh well. Let's go back and listen to Jessica. I'm sorry.
Came upstairs to this apartment here to my left, came to meet my mother, spoke to her, introduced himself. And on that day, he took me and my best friend out to lunch to a Chinese buffet. I knew him about maybe, I want to say a month and a half before the incident.
He also, during that time when he introduced himself to me, he said that he would watch over them, promised that they would be fine, and I had nothing to worry about, that they would be safe with him. He came off like he was a brother to a sister kind of relationship. And I trusted this person and allowed my daughter and her friends to go and have lunch at that time. I did not know, and I want to stress it very clearly, I did not know his age at that time. I just figured that he was a friend, hang around friend, possibly even high school. So yes, he did come and he did assure me that my daughter and her girlfriend would be safe with him.
So the second time Charlemagne came to my home, I wasn't here. I'm not sure where I was, but my brother answered the door, told Charlemagne I wasn't here. And that was the second occasion. The third occasion was the day of the party. Charlemagne called me one day and told me he was having a party, a beach party, and invited me to the beach party. Initially, I said no, but then he said the party was actually for him. It was his birthday. And he said, you know, you're like my sister, you have to be there. I told him, I said, okay. Give me a second. So he told me it was his birthday party and I had to be there. He said, you're like my sister, I want you to come. And I told him, I said, okay, I would come. So I called my best friend and I asked her if she wanted to go. And she said that she would think about it. She got back to me and said she couldn't go. So I asked my brother's girlfriend at the time, her name is Malika Joyner, and she said that she would go with me. Or the day of the party, I got a call from Charlemagne and asked if we were ready. And we told him yes. So he came to pick us up. There were two vehicles. It was a Yukon and I believe it was a Talon, if I'm not mistaken, a sports car. He had a few guys with him, and one of those guys was a cousin of his by the name of Kenta Palmer. Kenta Palmer was the one driving the sports vehicle. Prior to this day, I had never met Kenta or any of the guys who came to pick us up. I just assumed they were friends and family of his because he was having this alleged birthday party. There were a few guys in the truck and one guy in the sports car. They picked us up late afternoon. Malika and I got into the vehicles. We left. From there, we went to his father's house. Once we got there, I met his father. And there was a few other people there, which I believe were his family members. And they were sitting in there watching TV. We sat there for a while. We left his parents' house and got into the vehicles and drove to, I believe it was a gas station. At the gas station, Malika called my mom to check in to let her know we were okay. Charlemagne and someone else got out and went inside the gas station, came back into the vehicles, and then we drove to the villa. Once we got there, went inside. Villa number 30. This is where the party was. Me and Malika walked into the party with Charlemagne, his friends and cousins. I do not want to tell that story again. I don't even want to do bits and pieces of it. Fucking over it. Malika and I sat down and Charlemagne asked us if we wanted something to drink. Malika took a drink, but I told him I was fine. I didn't want to drink. But it's like he kept pressuring me to drink. He was like, this is where Charlemagne gave Malika and I the drinks. He himself made those drinks. He told me that I could trust him. I was like his sister. He would let nothing happen to me that night. He repeatedly asked me over and over and over if I wanted to drink. And even after telling him no several times, he still pressured me. I finally took a drink. Now, mind you, I'm 15 years old. I'm a child. I'm a minor. I'm being pressured into drinking by someone who I thought I could trust. I let my guards down. And I said, you know what? This is my friend. He won't let anything happen to me. And he betrayed me. He allowed his friends or cousins or whoever those guys were to take advantage of me. And he himself took advantage of me as well. He brought me here and left me here.
All right, good evening. This is the Star Report. My name is Star. I'm your...
Wow. Such an impactful story. My question is, Wow. Such an impactful story. My question is, when will Charlemagne be held accountable? Everybody's so quick to jump on a I hate R. Kelly train. When will Charlemagne be held accountable? Let's look at some of these comments. Let's see. Molly, and it's going to get bigger if R. Kelly takes a plea or get found guilty. The war to protect our men will get bad. The outrage from colored folks should stand together, should stand higher than ever, but let's pray he won't. Thank you so much, Georgia girl. Charlemagne the God story keeps changing depending on who interviews him or asks the questions. Pay attention, y'all. Facts. And Huff said, mute Charlemagne the Gods and the whole Breakfast Club. Facts. Nisi. Okay. She's saying hello. Molly. I'm praying at Boston. People like Jay-Z think they can't be touched. None of them are exempt, she meant. And they're too stupid to recognize it. If Rob go down, they all will. I agree. That is no way you can be friends with a teenage girl. Question. Is there any way a 22-year-old can be friends with a teenage girl? That's what I want to know. Ms. Virgo said they still in high school. Georgia girl said, wow, nothing. Boston said, Molly, I don't know about him because he plays with the devil. Him and his wife, so maybe he'll sacrifice someone else to be left alone. What you think? Talking about Jay-Z, I agree. Nothing, laugh out loud. I didn't even want to hang out with them. Yeah. So they were dating. No, they was not dating. She looked at him as a big brother. And he did this. This is so sad. Her poor mother, this breaks my heart. She thought she was helping and protecting her daughter. She allowed Charlemagne the God to plead to a lesser charge. So sad. Facts, Molly. Man, when I first heard them speak, it really broke my heart. Okay? I thought Charlemagne the God said his cousin was talking to Shorty. How he get her to talk to him to they were sharing her, or he lied again. Facts. So she looked at him like a big brother. Yep, Monica. Yep. Let's see. So how many picked her up? Why did she go with so many boys? Just said, oh my God, terrible. They messed with her and her friend. Facts. Georgia girl, come over. I'm live, level up. Hey, Fantasia. Many things are having children with 20-year-olds. I don't agree, but it's happening. Wow. So let's look at what her mom said. Check this out.
Which I am very sorry about, because when my daughter was drugged and raped, I wanted to do nothing but protect her. I didn't want her to suffer anymore. I didn't want her to feel that pain anymore. And so I did not let her testify. And because of that, today we are finding out that Mr. McCalvey is going to get away with what he did to my daughter, Jessica, and this family. For all these years, we've been suffering, going through pain and anguish over his decisions, molest my daughter, rape her. And now she has to deal with this and we have to deal with this. And I'm so sorry that I didn't take the initiative then to persecute him for what he did to my daughter. I'm sorry. he came to our home and he acted as if he was going to be a friend to us. He came to us and said, "Don't worry, nothing's going to happen to her. And I'll make sure that she'll be safe."
Wow. Wow. The cries of a mother. That's the last thing I want to hear. But check this out.
My name is Jocelyn Sullivan, and I am the mother of Jessica Nicole Reid. We're out here in Mounts Corner, just left the Berkeley County Sheriff's Department, speaking with detectives. The case of McCalvey, my daughter, Jessica Reid. I have regrets in which I am very sorry about, because when my daughter was drugged and raped, I wanted to do nothing but protect her. I didn't want her to suffer anymore. I didn't want her to feel that pain anymore. And so I did not let her testify. And because of that, today we are finding out that Mr. McCalvey is going to get away with what he did to my daughter, Jessica, and this family. For all these years, we've been suffering, going through pain and anguish over his decisions, molest my daughter, rape her. And now she has to deal with this and we have to deal with this. And I'm so sorry that I didn't take the initiative then to persecute him for what he did to my daughter. I'm sorry. He came to our home and he acted as if he was going to be a friend to us. He came to us and said, "Don't worry, nothing's going to happen to her. And I'll make sure that she'll be safe." He eluded us to believe and trust in him. And then he turns around and violates my daughter by raping and drugging her. And then he gets away with it. When I made the decision not for my daughter to testify, I was focused on her well-being, and I wanted the best for her. I didn't want to put her in a stand to relive all of that pain and suffering. And now, 17 years later, because he continues to make mockery about it, joke and laugh about it, like it doesn't even matter to him, or he has no regrets or anything. Then he tries to cover it up with his money and his high-class attorneys. And now he's not going to be punished for it. Justice is not fair, and we will not stop fighting. We will fight for justice and closure
for my daughter Jessica in this family, according to the detectives, because he negotiated a plea deal, he cannot be prosecuted for the rape charge. So what they did was just dismiss it. They didn't even prosecute the rape charge because my daughter wasn't there. And so they let him plead. DNA did not clear him innocent. DNA has nothing to do with it at all. He's guilty no matter what anyone says. 17 years later, she's still suffering from it. We're still suffering with her from it. And justice needs to be served regardless. He deserves to be punished for what he did.
Hello, my name is Jessica Reid. I'm 32 years old. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I left New York when I was 6 years old. After my father passed away, we moved to Charleston, South Carolina, lived there for about 5 years, and we moved to Somerville and lived there for 2 years. Today, I'm here to talk about what happened in June 2001. A lot of you have heard Charlemagne's story, but today I'm here to set the record straight about what really happened that night. I met Charlemagne through a mutual friend. His name is Rico. I met Rico through my best friend. Her name is Shaniqua Epps. The night I met Charlemagne, Rico and I were hanging out. He told me he had some business to take care of and he had to stop by the radio station, Z93. So where I'm at right now, standing right in front of what used to be Z93 radio station, here is where I met Charlemagne. Like I said previously, I was introduced to him by Rico, who was a mutual friend of both Charlemagne and I. Charlemagne worked at the time as a radio DJ. He introduced us, Rico introduced Charlemagne and I. I sat down, Rico and Charlemagne were discussing music. I kind of sat back while they talked. We left the station and about 2 days later, Charlemagne called me. I'm not sure how he got my number because I didn't give it to him, but I'm assuming that Rico gave him my number. At the time I met Charlemagne, I was 15 years old. He told me he was 20. Just finding out recently, he was actually 22 years old at the time. Our relationship was strictly platonic. We were friends and only friends. We are at Tree Haven Apartment. This is where Charlemagne came to meet my mom for the first time. Came upstairs to this apartment here to my left, came to meet my mother, spoke to her, introduced himself. And on that day, he took me and my best friend out to lunch to a Chinese buffet. I knew him about maybe, I want to say a month and a half before the incident.
He also, during that time when he introduced himself to me, he said that he would watch over them, promised that they would be fine, and I had nothing to worry about, that they would be safe with him. He came off like he was a brother to a sister kind of relationship. And I trusted this person and allowed my daughter and her friend to go and have lunch at that time. I did not know, and I want to stress it very clearly, I did not know his age at that time. I just figured that he was a friend, hang around friend, possibly even high school. So yes, he did come and he did assure me that my daughter and her girlfriend would be safe with him.
So the second time Charlemagne came to my home, I wasn't here. I'm not sure where I was, but my brother answered the door, told Charlemagne I wasn't here. And that was the second occasion. The third occasion was the day of the party. Charlemagne called me one day and told me he was having a party, a beach party, and invited me to the beach party. Initially, I said no, but then he said the party was actually for him. It was his birthday. And he said, you know, you're like my sister, you have to be there. I told him, I said, okay. Give me a second. So he told me it was his birthday party and I had to be there. He said, "You're like my sister. I want you to come." And I told him, I said, okay, I would come. So I called my best friend and I asked her if she wanted to go. And she said that she would think about it. She got back to me and said she couldn't go. So I asked my brother's girlfriend at the time, her name is Malika Joyner, and she said that she would go with me. Or the day of the party, I got a call from Charlemagne and asked if we were ready. And we told him yes. So he came to pick us up. There were two vehicles. It was a Yukon and I believe it was a Talon, if I'm not mistaken, a sports car. He had a few guys with him, and one of those guys was a cousin of his by the name of Kenta Palmer. Kenta Palmer was the one driving the sports vehicle. Prior to this day, I had never met Kenta or any of the guys who came to pick us up. I just assumed they were friends and family of his because he was having this alleged birthday party. There were a few guys in the truck and one guy in the sports car. They picked us up late afternoon. Malika and I got into the vehicles. We left. From there, we went to his father's house. Once we got there, I met his father, and there was a few other people there, which I believe were his family members. And they were sitting in there watching TV. We sat there for a while. We left his parents' house and got into the vehicles and drove to, I believe it was a gas station. At the gas station, Malika called my mom to check in to let her know we were okay. Charlemagne and someone else got out and went inside the gas station, came back into the vehicle, and then we drove to the villa. Once we got there, went inside. Right now, we are at the Short Stay Villa in Moncks Corner. This is where everything took place on June 2001. As you can see, in order to access the villa, you need a military pass. Someone by the name of Derek Major got the villa for Charlemagne that night. I know Charlemagne repeatedly says that this party was for a cousin of his named Kenta Palmer, but I was told from Charlemagne himself that this party was for him. It was his birthday. That's the only reason I came. The first thing I noticed is there were just a whole bunch of guys there. I think there were two other females, but they were in the back outside, and I could see them through the sliding door. But it was majority guys. Villa number 30, this is where the party was. Me and Malika walked into the party with Charlemagne, his friends and cousins. I do not want to tell that story again. I don't even want to do bits and pieces of it. Fucking over it. Malika and I sat down and Charlemagne asked us if we wanted something to drink. Malika took a drink, but I told him I was fine. I didn't want to drink. But it's like he kept pressuring me to drink. He was like, this is where Charlemagne gave Malika and I the drinks. He himself made those drinks. He told me that I could trust him. I was like his sister. He would let nothing happen to me that night. He repeatedly asked me over and over and over if I wanted to drink. And even after telling him no several times, he still pressured me. I finally took a drink. Now, mind you, I'm 15 years old. I'm a child. I'm a minor. I'm being pressured into drinking by someone who I thought I could trust. I let my guards down. And I said, you know what? This is my friend. He won't let anything happen to me. and he betrayed me. He allowed his friends or cousins or whoever those guys were to take advantage of me, and he himself took advantage of me as well. He brought me here and left me here.
All right, good evening. This is the Star Report. My name is Star. I'm your host.
Because I didn't know who he was. We were offered drinks.
Plea to contributing to the delinquency of a minor. But Malika, you have come forward. You contacted me, and you want to tell.
Yes.
You want to tell what you saw? I mean, let's just get right to it. What did you see that?
Well, okay, we can get right to it. We were offered drinks. There was something in the drink.
He went in the kitchen, made a drink for me. I took the drink and I sat next to Malika, and I was drinking my drink, and she was just about done with hers. She just, out of the blue, started throwing up. And the funny thing about it was, after she was throwing up, he kept asking her or trying to give her more drinks. And she was like, I can't drink anymore.
Because I didn't know who he was, on the radio. That was my first time ever meeting him. I was introduced through Jessica. I knew nothing about him. I was basically going there. She asked me if I would like to go with her. So I said, yeah, I'll go with you,
Right.
So I didn't know him at all prior to this event occurring. I didn't know who he was.
I sat my cup down and I started feeling weird. And I said, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. This is what I told myself. And when I got up to go to the bathroom, I fell to the floor. I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't move my arms. It's like I had no control over my limbs. I could see and I could hear, but I couldn't move. So I heard the guys in the back and they were laughing, and Charlamagne was laughing. And he told them to take me upstairs. Taken upstairs by two guys, one named Larry and one named Boo, who took me into a bathroom and violated me and took advantage of me. Charlamagne allowed these guys to take me upstairs. In fact, he told them to take me upstairs after giving me a drink with a drug in it. I got up off the couch and I couldn't even move. I collapsed to the floor, and all he could do was laugh. He didn't ask if I was okay. He didn't help me up. He laughed. So he took me upstairs, and then he took me into the bathroom.
I did see two people escort her upstairs, but like I said, I myself I was throwing up and so forth. I was out of it too, but I was still able to know what was, able to see and hear what was going on. But it was like everything for me was slow motion. But she was escorted up the stairs with two gentlemen.
Okay. They took me upstairs and took me into the bathroom. And I don't know how to do this. They took me upstairs and took me into the bathroom. And they had my arms like this. One was here and one was here. And they were holding me up because I couldn't hold myself up. And I had a dress on. I had one arm like this, and Larry was holding me up. And Boo had this other arm with his other hand. He was just forcing his fingers in my vagina. And I was just sitting there hopeless. I couldn't do nothing. I cannot do this.
At any point, were you in the room together with Jessica when she was being raped, or were you in another room and you came
No.
in? How did that play out?
No, she was upstairs. I was downstairs.
Okay.
When they were finished, they just left me in the bathroom and I fell to the floor. And I was just laying on the floor crying. I was just laying there. And then somebody came to the bathroom, picked me up, and put me in the bedroom. Left me in the bedroom, closed the door behind them. I don't know how long I was laying there for, but Larry ended up coming in the bedroom. He came in, he got on the bed, and he started to rub his penis on my body. And all I could do at the time was just try to roll around on the bed. And I was rolling until I eventually fell off the bed. I don't know. I don't even know how I got back onto the bed. I don't even know. But he left. And then Charlemagne came into the room. And I saw Charlemagne's face with my own eyes. When he opened that door, I saw his face. I saw his face. I heard his voice while he was raping me. There's nothing that nobody can say. And started taking off my clothes. And started talking to me in the process. And he kept saying things like, I told you I was going to take care of you and nothing was going to happen to you.
But because I was throwing off, I was still coherent. I was still able to, I was still aware of my surroundings. So he couldn't really, he gave up with me, he was kissing on me, trying to unbutton my shirt. I was determined, that was not going to happen. And in the process of him not being able to sexually, come on to me the way he wanted to, because I was still able to, I was still able to know what's going on, then that's, where Jessica, he went to Jessica. And I told you I was going to take care of you. And nothing's going to happen to you. This is Charlemagne. And he just kept going on and on. And then he started kissing me and he started kissing me. He started kissing me. The whole time he's doing all of these things, I was there crying.
That's why it's so hard. Like as I'm saying it, it's replaying in my head and I can see it happening. He was kissing me everywhere. And I'm laying there crying. And he's like trying to shush me. He's trying to shush me. I'm sitting there crying, and he tries to shush me. And then he performs oral sex on me. And then he rapes me. And I was trying to move, but I don't know, he was heavy. And it was like nothing I could do.
I was downstairs when Jessica went upstairs to the bathroom, and she was gone quite a while. At that time, I was thrown up and so forth, so it took me quite a bit of time to get to her. But what made me get up to get to her, not even that she was gone for so long, but I heard yelling and screaming, a lot of noise, and like something wasn't right. So that's what made me get up to go find Jessica. And in the process of me finding Jessica, I did see Charlamagne on top of Jessica, and Jessica was very hysterical. Oh gosh, it was horrible.
I was laying on the bed with no clothes on, and I remember somebody opening the door.
Okay, so you went upstairs and you had to push your way into the room, or the door was open? What?
No, the door was closed. It was not open whatsoever. I had to literally get in. I don't know how, but I mustered up the energy to get in that room.
Okay.
And like I said, I did see Charlamagne on top of Jessica. And in the process, because it was more of a shock, like, how did she get in here? You know, he jumped off her and proceed to run out.
Mm-hmm. So when you came into the room and you claimed that you...
Jessica was hysterical. She was yelling and screaming. I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm just in shock because I couldn't believe what I saw. Like, I was really like, oh my gosh, you know, like, she was, and I'm trying to calm her down and just be there for her. And she had no clothes on. It was horrible. You know, she was yelling, screaming, saying they raped me, they touched me, you know, and it was, wow, it was a lot to take on.
So when you came into the room, did you see, I'm sorry, when you came into the room, did you see Charlamagne's pants down, or did you see him naked? What was...
His pants was down. Yes, his pants was down. When he jumped up, he pulled everything up.
Okay.
And ran out the room.
And then Malika staggered in and she was asking me where my clothes were. And I told her I didn't know. I told her I didn't know where they were. And then, I don't know, it was weird. I told her I didn't know where my clothes were. And then Larry, no, excuse me. I told her I didn't know what my clothes were. And I think I started yelling or something. And Larry told me to shut the fuck up before he kicked me in the head. And I was like, where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? And he said, Larry said, ain't nobody do nothing to you. You just acting crazy for no reason. And I just kept saying, where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? I just started screaming. And then when I started screaming, everybody ran. Everybody left. Everybody left. I wasn't in any shape to call the police or speak to the police. I don't know how they were called. I know Malika and I ended up downstairs outside of the villa in the front, and we were just sitting out there in the dark. And then a black car pulled up and asked us if we were okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think either he called or Malika called. I'm not sure who called the police, but someone called the police because we went to the hospital that night.
I'm the one that called her mother, her brother. We got the EMS out there. You know, I was the one that was there with her, so she wasn't by herself.
So right now we're at Somerville Medical Center. After the incident took place at the villa, the emergency room picked up me and Malika, and this is where they brought us. When I arrived here, my mother was here, my brother was here, and also a friend of the family who was actually the chaplain that night. Her name is Betty Broomfield. They were here.
Early morning, I received a phone call, and I could hear Jessica screaming in the background. Malika talked on the phone, and she did not know exactly where they were. Someone stopped and let them use their cell phone so that they could contact me. Immediately, I called 911 to have someone dispatched over to where the incident occurred. Stayed on the phone until I heard from an ambulance technician to tell me where they were taking my daughter Jessica Reid and Malika Joyner. They informed me that they were going to take them to the Somerville Medical Center. Me and family rushed to the hospital only to see my daughter lying on the emergency bed, screaming, traumatized, and in shock. It was one of the worst days of my life. And the family was so upset to see her in that type of position.
Charlemagne did not come to the hospital. Charlemagne did not call me the day after. I had never heard from Charlemagne again after that night. And he's the one who invited me to the party. He's the one who took me to the party, and he left me there.
If you're so innocent and you didn't do anything, why didn't you pick up the phone and call somebody? Why didn't you ask, hey, is Jessica okay? You brought me to that party. You never picked up the phone to call. You never stopped by my house to check on me because you knew you were guilty. You knew what you had done.
Don't be so naive. You don't know who this man is. You didn't know who he was back then. Don't believe everything you hear. Look at the facts. Listen to him tell his story. It makes no sense at all. This man picked me up. We had a relationship, first of all. And he's done a few interviews where he claimed he didn't even know who I was. Ask questions. He picked me up, took me to a party, and abandoned me.
What happened
That's
after that incident took place? Did you ever see Charlemagne again?
No, it took a toll on his family. It was very hard on everybody, you know, even the relationship between me and her brother. You know, it just affected us in so many ways. And recently, you know, once that happened, it was horrible. You know, we ended up moving, you know, we all relocated, you know, shortly after the incident has happened. And then once me and her brother was not able to, you know, work things out due to this horrible event,
Nightmare.
I relocated and moved on with my life.
Yeah. So now, after this rape occurred with Jessica, and you're saying, Charlemagne, I'm not putting this on him, but these are your statements. And I would imagine Monk's Corner is a small town. How awkward was it for you guys to live there and to hear him on the radio?
It was really hard, you know, I don't see how someone can do that and then act like nothing happened.
There's so much hate that I have for him. And I shouldn't say that, but there's so much of me that hates that man because my life has never been the same ever since that night. Never. And I don't know if I'll ever be the same. I turn on the radio, I hear your voice. I turn on TV, I see your face. I've been in counseling on and off for 5 to 6 years. Medication, anxiety attacks, depression, all because of you. And now you want to portray me as some groupie, some girl who you didn't know, you just invited me to a party. No. Say my name. You know me. You know how we met. You called my house. You met my mom. You met my brother. You picked me up, took me out to lunch. You called me your little sister. We had a friendship. And you lied. The same way you lying to all these people. You're not innocent and you know you're not innocent. I don't even know how you sleep at night. But it's not over. It's not over. Just know that. I'm gonna keep speaking. I'm gonna get my justice. The truth is going to be revealed. This is not over. So due to the fact that I was a minor, only 15 when everything happened, my mom thought it was best that I did not take the stand and testify against Charlemagne. I wanted to, I was willing, I was ready. I wanted to speak and I wanted to tell the truth and I wanted him to pay for what he did. But know that the only reason he is where he is today is because I was not able to speak. And I really wish I could have spoken. It's not getting better for me. To have to see someone who violated you every day on TV, going on with his life like nothing ever happened. Like that part of his life never happened. And I'm here suffering every single day. I know what I know and I know my truth and I will stand by that until the day I die. This isn't about money for me. This is about justice. It's about closure. It's about being able to move on with my life. I've made it very clear. I want nothing from this man. No amount of money he gives me is going to give me back what he took. Mentally, emotionally, I have never been the same. He has never acknowledged me. He's gotten on his radio show and said he's praying for the victim and her family. as if he doesn't know who I am. He knows who I am. He knows me very well. He knows what happened that night. And no matter how much you try to cover it up, the truth is gonna come out. I promise you. People can see through your lies. Nobody believes you. People can see it. I want to take this time to thank everyone who supported me so far. I want to take the time to thank those who have given me a platform to speak. As you have seen, not too many people have reached out to me. A lot of the main outlets wouldn't even speak about this case until Charlemagne said something about it. As disappointing as that is, I still have to keep moving forward and appreciate those who have given me a platform to tell my story. A lot of people have reached out to me and shared their sexual assault stories. And I want to say that I believe you. I stand with you. And thank you. It's not easy talking about what has happened to you. It's not easy coming out and having people scrutinize you and say you have hidden agendas when you know deep down in your heart that all you want to do is move on with your life and all you want is justice. So I thank everyone who has supported me. I thank everyone who has emailed me. Thank you for showing me love, for giving me kind words, because it has motivated me and it has helped me to continue moving forward. Thank you. I haven't been back here since it happened.
How would you?
I'm just saying. I mean, we moved, we left. I haven't been to Somerville since, I don't know, I guess since it happened. I mean, I came back to Charleston to visit my family, but never been back to Somerville. Yeah.
Dream team. Dream team. We got work to do. I am in contact with her mother. I am in contact with her mom. That's how I got the documents. I'm trying to work something out. Whereas though I can get Jessica over here on the show. I told y'all we moving forward. We ain't going backwards. Trying to work something out where I can get Jessica on the show, probably her mom and her brother, and we can talk about, you know, her experience and just let Jessica take over the platform and share her experience. Also, what time is it? 1:55. At 4:30, I'll be back with the 30-page R. Kelly questionnaire. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. We are moving forward. As far as all the loud noise and the rhetoric and the jambalaya and all that stuff, when it come at you, ignore it. If you can't ignore it, if you got a rebuttal, say one thing. Why is he a topic? That's how you shut down lies. Why is he a topic? And y'all know what I'm talking about, and y'all know who I'm talking about. Why is he a topic? He's moved on. Y'all do the same. No, nobody's focused on no spamming and none of that. Look, I laugh at stuff like that. As the narratives are painted, I laugh at it. Okay. Y'all want to paint a narrative. Y'all using somebody else now. Okay. Same suit, just warmed up and moved over. That's it. Same bullshit, no receipts, no nothing. And if you really want to keep your foot on their neck, just ask for receipts. You can't accuse nobody without having receipts. So with that being said, I'm a man. And I will go on record and I will say this. When I went on that lady panel and Just Jazz was alluding to me doing whatever, I did say, I'm just here to clear my name this morning. Because she have alluded to me doing that. But I'm a man and I'm not asking and I'm not looking for nothing from Just Jazz. But I did accuse her. I did accuse her on Angie's page. But I don't have receipts on that. I have opinion and observation. So I'm man enough to say to Just Jazz, okay, that's my bad for accusing you because it was opinion. I gave what I saw. I gave what my eyes led me to believe to see. But because I don't have receipts on it, I will pay it and excuse it. That's what grown people do. You don't continue with a lie when you know that it's a goddamn lie. Okay? So that's how we kill all that rhetoric and all that naysaying stuff. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Let the crazy deal with the crazies and do what they do. All right. Y'all be blessed, man. I'm telling y'all. Hold on. Y'all be blessed. Y'all do what y'all do. We all gonna have fun. For God is the one that oversees our channel and our life. Keep our channel, Mother Mama Mary, in prayer. I've never known Mama Mary to lie and say anything that wasn't the truth. So I don't care what nobody else say. I'm trusting the people that trust me. No new friends. I mean it. Shout out to Ruthie. Ruthie do have her own business. I think it's Ruthie in the house. Man, I'm telling you, I have people complimenting me right now on the coast holders that she made for me. And I've been sending people her way. And I told them, when you talk to her, just say Dana sent you. Whatever y'all work out from there is out of my hands. Just tell them Dana sent you. No, if you tell her that, no, that don't mean you get a discount. That means that she know who's sending her business traffic. Same thing for Fantasia Habishan. She have a business. Patronize her business. She make candles, she makes soap, she do all that. And she teach you how to wash your hair and with tree branches, she do all that. I never seen it until she did it. And I'm sitting back like, yo, she really got a tree branch. And she washing people's hair with a tree branch. Killed me. Took me out of here. Lets me know that I'm not the only creative one. But I just would never go that far to take a tree branch and wash some of my hair. Very creative. Love Fantasia to death. Who else got business? Georgia Girl. Georgia Girl have a business. Also, Georgia Girl, she's in the creative arts and she makes pocketbooks and stuff like that. Patronize Georgia Girl. Tell her Dana sent you. Denise, the real Denise from Texas. She have a business where she's selling this syrup that make you gain weight. It's called whatever. Animetapine, adamantine, whatever that is. It makes you gain weight. So I never seen no stuff like that, but it makes you gain weight. Also, you know, I'm not going to exclude my two sisters. If you want them pastries, hit up Prima Donna. The cakes, the pastries, whatever, the pies, hit Prima Donna. She got you. She got you. Also, if you just want some creative stuff done, you want some shirts, you want some bags, that's out of this world. Off the chain. Masks, hats, underwear, G-string holders. For the fellas that's in the stripping joint, your advanced G-string, hit Brooke up. Brooke will definitely make it for you. So we are very talented over here. Also, I'm trying to get one of my other sisters to open up something that I think it'd be great if these three ladies come together and do it, but let's wait and see what's going on. We gotta wait and see about that. Also, Larry and his family got a shirt business, a hat business. Patronize. So before you go to Saks, Fifth Avenues, Macy's, and all that, yo, patronize these folks, man. They our own color. Let's stop giving these conglomerates that don't give a hell about us our funds and spend within us. Let's rebuild Black Wall Street to colored Wall Street. We don't gotta do Black Wall Street because black means death. So let's do colored Wall Street. Let's build self-preservation and self-wealth. Leave all that other stuff alone. People go over there and laugh and giggles and all that time, man, they can have it. I'm above it. All right. So at 4:30, I see all of you back, I hope. Let's be blessed. Be someone important. Be yourself. To 4:30, Dana J out. Peace. Love every last one of y'all. Oh, it's not mandatory, but if you want to contribute, go ahead and hit the Cash App because I'm not being monetized for this show. I done used other people clippings. I done used music and all that. I'm not being monetized. But if you feel as though you want to patronize me or support this channel, go to the super chat that's somewhere around here on one of these parts of the screen. It should be a $ in the box. Or you want to cash at me at official Dana J. Also, don't forget my Patreon. Today, Monday. Guess what that means? I will be loading today. I will be loading all of R. Kelly indictment files today. I'm going to start loading up at 7 p.m. Or should I say when I get off of my next live. Once I finish that, I will be loading up everything. Today is the first day that I will start reloading everything. I hope everybody shifted to the $10 channel. There's only one channel now. That's the $10 channel. Shift everything to the $10 channel. Y'all have said 25 was too much. Y'all said 15 was too much. Okay, fine. $10 channel. There's only one now. $10 channel. That $15 channel, I will be taking it down today. Shift to the $15 channel for everybody that's there. I thank y'all. Anybody else, bring them on. I will be start going live on Patreon as well. Prima Donna going to show me how to do it. I will be going live on Patreon as well. Also, hit Sky Zone. Let her know you care about it. Let her know you miss it. Hit Saint. Look, hit Senator Sane. Let them know you care about them. Let them know you miss them. Drop on past the Diamond District. Tell Toxic Diamond, I'm just thinking about you, sis. Dana sent me. I'm saying hello. That's all you got to do. Encourage the real content creators. You feel me? Encourage the real content creators. Walk away from the negative people who just have channels. Walk away from the people who just have channels. Hashtag walk away. That's what I'm promoting. If you really want to do it, go over to Larry. Tell Larry, man, look, and we know you about to sit down. I'm praying with you. Let them know you're praying for them. This could be a trying time for them. You never know. People can be in front of the camera smiling and they ready to take their life as soon as they cut these lights off. As soon as that mic go off. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not coming to y'all looking like a lawyer because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a liar. You feel me? I'm not a liar. Put it like that. If I say something, I produce receipts to back up what I say. I was wrong for accusing Just Jazz in the public. I apologize to Just Jazz in the public. Now, I'm not expecting none of them to do none of that. That's too much like right. But what I am saying is, if I gotta hold anybody else accountable, I'm gonna hold myself accountable first. I'm a man. So with that being said, I wish all of y'all good luck. I'm up out of here. I see y'all 4:30. Be blessed. Peace.
What you gonna do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. Not tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend it you. That ass, girl, gotta make it